NHL picks for Friday, April 3rd. Welcome into PuckTime, guys. WagerTalk TV. Just 2 games to break down for today. We're going to talk a lot of conceptual, overall NHL stuff today. For those of you tuning in the live comments section, as we always have a great group of you, we will be taking some questions and some thoughts. Of course, Carmine will have you guys set with his 6 and 60. I will have a video out later on tonight with some picks and some thoughts and some props for Saturday's NHL slate. But I'll lead the show off with the same way I let it off with yesterday, guys. We keep the run alive. 11 straight NHL winners. Today, or yesterday, it was not a team total. It was a full game over. I liked the Lightning, same way my co-host Carmine liked them. I was just a little bit worried because the Penguins have been scoring so many goals lately, over 6.5. We get the job done. 11 straight in the NHL. So thank you to all of you guys that joined me. 4% best bet. We continue to make some money in the NHL, and it's a great time to be hot in the NHL. Speaking of being hot in the NHL, well, Carmine, you're off a 3-0 day. So both of us have reasons to smile here today on a Friday. And, well, we always should have reasons to smile, but today is a good day.
Any day you wake up above ground is always a good day. So any day you wake up is a good day nonetheless. But yeah, 3-0. I liked a lot of games yesterday, but I thought, wow, 3's really pushing it. So I left it at 3. Utah gets it done. Tampa in regulation, of course, gets it done, which was also the pod play. And there was one other one. There's so many to mention, Andrew, that is like there were so many games that I liked, and I'm like, I can't take them all. That's the problem. Is it's kind of like your streak, 11-0, and I know that subscribers are like, give us more volume, but you make more money picking one winner a day than giving out 3 plays and going 2-1, where you lose a little bit of vig as well too. So I think that's something you have to look at. The other one for me was Minnesota, not the full game line. I took the puck line on that one, so I'm pretty happy about that. The Wild get it done. Vancouver, no upsets this time around, even though they led 2-1 at the end of the first period against Minnesota. I'm like, no. This is a great time to live in-game wager on the Wild. They are going to come back and win on home ice, and they did. So it is good, but a lot of action yesterday, a lot of empty net goals, and a huge weekend ahead. I know that you have zoned in on a couple games for tomorrow. We're not going to discuss them, of course, but they could possibly be a big play from you, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Keep that. You get the 12, and then you go for the baker's dozen, the 13. You know what I mean? Which is a good luck number for Italians. So,
okay.
So, yeah, that's what it is, man. So we're going to talk Philly Islanders, St. Louis, and Anaheim. We have a fade or follow stat from Ralph Michaels on that one. I'm going to do a pod play and then take my breath, catch my breath. You are going to do some prop plays if you have any. Then we are going to finish it off with the 6 and 16. And along the way, we can field some questions for the people, but we're going to try and keep this at 40 minutes or less.
We'll do our best. I
don't want to get bounced by Kelly or whatever. She's like, 40 minutes, that's enough. With that said, Andrew, dude, let's cue it up, man. Islanders and the Flyers. So both these teams, it is crazy that this is, and I'm going to be using this phrase so many times in the next few days, or like even next week. This is a massive game with playoff implications. The Islanders are in right now. The Flyers are not, and they're separated by 3 points. And this is essentially one of those 4-pointers. You need to win this game and win it in regulation if you're the Philadelphia Flyers. Plus 120, 146 on the Islanders. And I get it, Sorokin is confirmed to be in goal, Andrew, but 12 goals allowed by the Islanders in their last 2 games. Eek. Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, not very good. And Carm, I know you always laugh when I put these images up on the screen because we have to get our magnifying glass out to read them. But wow, this is even worse than I thought it was. But For those of you guys with the eyesight of a 28-year-old like myself, you can take a look at this. If the Islanders win in regulation tonight, 75% chance they make the playoffs. If they lose in regulation, a 40.2% chance of making the playoffs. So this is a massive, massive swing as far as they are concerned here. And obviously, as you mentioned, if the Philadelphia Flyers, if they lose, they are pretty much completely out of contention. It's interesting because you do look at towards, the back-to-backs type of stuff here, and that always plays a factor when we're handicapping and when we're looking at this stuff, because you want to take a look at which teams are rested, which teams that have come into it. And obviously Philadelphia come off second half of back-to-back. The goaltender we're going to see out there is Dan Vladar. And the only thing I have to say, Carm, is that the Dan Vladar we're seeing today is not the Dan Vladar we saw 2 months ago. And he picked a wrong time to start letting in some goals. Last 3 games, 3.67 goals against average. Last 3 games, 847 save percentage. He has not been great. The funny thing is, Ilya Sorokin, last 3 games, 864 save percentage, goals against, 4 goals per game, expected goals against, 4.19 goals against per game. Carm, when people think about these must-win games, a lot of the times you think about unders. And I've talked a lot about with the Ottawa Senators. They've been going under in a lot of their games that they need to make the playoffs. But when you think about empty net goals, when you think about intensity right from the get-go, right from the start, and we're seeing a 5.5. Look at the game yesterday that Philadelphia was involved in. Over 5.5. It just got there, but it got there. I kind of like that today. As much as this is a do or die game, you got a Philadelphia offense actually playing pretty well, but their defense hasn't been great. Dan Vladar hasn't been great, and the New York Islanders have picked a bad time to not be playing the best offensive or defensive hockey as well. So I'm going to go over 5.5. Never thought I'd be loving a 5.5 over between Philly and the Islanders. But here we are. It's Freaky Friday. We'll see what happens. The draw price on this one is plus 310. If anybody wants to sprinkle on overtime here in this one, obviously a point matters so much for both these teams. But I'm going to go over 5.5, Carm. Going strictly data-driven, both these goaltenders have not been great. And before I pass it over to you, Carm, I will shout out good buddy Titan CT says, even with glasses on, I can't even see that graphic. I'll try and do better next time, but had to mention that. Colin says, thank God for contacts. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff.
Titans is probably like in my age group. He could be like, who knows, maybe a little older. So he'll remember, those words that no one talks about right now, but that our parents back in the day used to say to us, be careful what you do in that bathroom. You'll lose your eyesight. So I'm not going to go any further because this is PG-13, this show, but I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, Andrew, here's the thing. I just feel like these teams in the Eastern Conference, and some of them are just crawling to the finish line here. Like the Islanders, Sorokin is making his 10 straight appearance tonight. 10 straight games. Big Save Dave has not gotten any starts whatsoever. I think the last time he was in, he was anything but a Big Save Dave. So the problem is they don't have an adequate backup goalie that they can put in there with any confidence. So now you have Sorokin and you're overworking the guy. And if you aren't scoring goals, you're allowing goals. And, allowing 8 goals a couple starts back, and then they allow 4 to the Buffalo Sabres. 12 goals in 2 games. It's not good. It's not good enough for them. What confidence do I have laying $1.46 with the Islanders? I don't. I wouldn't lay it. I get it. The Flyers are on a back-to-back. And yesterday I did say that I thought Detroit was the right side in Philadelphia, and they got the win there. It seems like some of these teams, Andrew, are that good old, and it's not a handicapping tool, zigzagging. And the Flyers seem like the one of those zigzag teams where they lose at home to the Detroit Red Wings, And then the very next night, they go into New York at UBS Arena and pick up a crucial 2 points in regulation. I would lean Flyers here, plus 120.
Well, must win does not mean will win. We keep on saying that, and this game probably is the epitome of that. So, yeah, and I'd love to see where this line ends up going as closer and closer we get to game time. But just remember, guys, the Islanders put themselves in this position. You know, they put themselves here, and that's why they are now pressed to win every single game. And just to circle back to what you said there, Carm, because you've been talking about this over the past couple of shows, and I appreciate the opinion on that, because Patrick Waugh, he said, look, goalies are meant to be out there. If you're our starting goalie, you're supposed to be out there all the time. And I'm not sure if you've been following kind of the controversial stuff going on with the Ottawa Senators and Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk and their dad, Keith. And then, of course, Linus Allmark with his mental health struggles. He refused last Saturday to play back-to-back games pretty much, right? And you think back to when Allmark played with Swayman, they pretty much shared the workload, right? But you and I both know, before I was even alive and you were watching hockey, goalies played like 70 games a year. The backups didn't play nearly as much. So Patrick Waugh is saying, Sorokin, if you're our number one guy, you got to play every single game.
Yeah, but the game has changed from back in the day where guys could play 70 games. There weren't as many shots on goal. The speed of the game was a little slower. Technology, the way it is, and a lot of these teams with speed, every single NHL team is data driven, and this is this is why it just boggles my mind sometimes when people are like, analytics and data mean nothing. Just pick a team. No, every single NHL team is data driven, and that's how they set up their teams. And there's some teams with speed, but one of the things is goaltending. You have to have a couple goalies where, especially during the middle of the season, you can give a guy like Sorokin a bunch of time off, play him every other day, and it's kind of like what the Buffalo Sabres have done, Andrew, with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Alex Lyon. The Sabres rotate their goalies. And here's the interesting thing. If it's Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in goal, Alex Lyon is not on the bench as a backup. It's Colton Ellis, the third goalie that they have. And when Alex Lyon is in goal, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is not on the bench as the backup goalie. He's in street clothes. It is Colton Ellis. So it's either the guy who starts the game is going to finish the game, or if he's got to come out, it's likely because they are losing badly, so they're just going to go to their third goalie. And you preserve your goalies all season long by doing that. Not every team can do that. Not every team wants to carry three goalies either. So
it's about getting that rest, right?
I think it's something that's going to haunt right now. Is going to haunt this Islanders team. I want to see them succeed. I want to make them to make the playoffs, and I think it's just because I have a soft spot for the Islanders because, in years past when they made it into the playoffs, they made good runs for me, and I made some money betting on the Islanders to win series. So, but at some point you got to let it go, and you just toss it out and you say, okay, it doesn't look good for this team. Yeah. But everything's up in the air. Detroit winning yesterday. It just Columbus losing again to Carolina. It has made that 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th spot. It is absolutely crazy what is going on right now in the NHL. It's going to be great nonetheless. So
I can't wait.
I will be here for the first 3 days of next week. The only first 3 days of next week. Hopefully by the time Thursday rolls around, the playoff spots are a little more solidified. So the last 5-6 days, there's maybe some good games, but ones that are just positional, kind of like the Montreal Canadiens creeping up on the Buffalo Sabres, Andrew.
Yeah, the top three spots, man. The top three spots, they're getting a little bit tricky right now. Those teams, all three of them, just cannot stop winning. Carm, let's take a look at this great special again. Look, all of you guys so loyal in the live chat. If you're with us and you're here every day, hit the like button. It does help us out, especially on a Friday when the Wager Talk family, when the higher-ups are checking out to see how PuckTime's doing. Get those likes up for us. Let's try and get to 200 on this video. For those of you guys interested, Carmine's off a 3-0 day. He's having a fantastic run in hockey. 11 straight winners for me. $199 rest of the regular season for free. All the playoffs. The faster you buy this, the more of the regular season you will get. And, of course, this is the playoff package. So we're just throwing in the remainder of the regular season with this special. WT.buzz/AM or CB for Carmine. And guys, this is a great deal. And as we talked about yesterday, Carm, the playoffs go until it's like t-shirts and shorts every day. It's like early June. A lot of people don't like it, how long the playoffs go in the NHL. But for that being said, $199 every 5% play, every future bet, every series bet, everything we get. And you can buy one play a day for me on this streak, or you can get this package and get every single play I release.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great deal for you, Andrew. And I could make the comment. Combined, Andrew, we have 14 straight winners, but it's kind of one-sided, 11 on one and 3 on the other. Anyways, we just keep going. It is you're doing it the right way. Key in on one game. And just keep on winning, man. That's all that people want. Just keep on winning. With that said, keep on winning. The Anaheim Ducks and the St. Louis Blues. The Anaheim Ducks were winning. Now 3 straight losses for the Ducks. Andrew, are they feeling the pressure? The Blues plus 117. Listen, the Blues, this is how I look at the Blues game right now. The Blues, or this game tonight. And I'm not using the must win. I may use a workaround to make you think it, but the Blues are looking at this. They're like 5 points back of a playoff spot. They do have a favorable schedule outside of their next 2 games because they play Anaheim tonight, but the next 2 games after that are home and away, or an away and home against the Colorado Avalanche. Now, whether the Avalanche have packed it in for the season because they feel like they've locked up the first seed overall is one thing. Cale Makar, if he's not in the lineup, they're a different team. The St. Louis Blues, this is a crucial game for them to have hope at a playoff spot. The percentage is low, but pick up 2 points here. You move within likely 3 points of a playoff spot. And if you can take 1 of 2 games against Colorado, at the bare minimum, 1 of 2 games against Colorado, they have a favorable schedule to close out the season where they could make a run. But Andrew, it's an 82-game season. They're in this position because they weren't very good over 75 of those games. So
yeah.
How are you looking at this one?
Well, I'll start this off with a comment from, where is he? Giovanni saying Edmonton tied first in Pacific. What do you all think about that? I'll tell you what I think about it is that, for them, it was all about the playoffs, just getting to the dance and doing whatever you can do there. Now they don't have Florida to worry about in the Eastern Conference, at least. But a couple weeks ago when we did a little segment on futures together, it might have even been 2 weeks ago, last week even, who knows? I lose track of time. But I said Anaheim were 18-1 to win the West. And the reason why I said that is because the Pacific was easier and they were pretty much a shoo-in to make the playoffs at that point. But the biggest problem that has screwed them, Carm, is that they were scoring their way out of their problems. You can't score your way out of problems every single game. And look at that game they played, what was it, Monday night, Leafs against Ducks. That was the Radko Gudas game. That is the perfect example of what this Ducks team is all about lately. You can't be winning games when you have to score 5 goals to win every game. Projected goalies for tonight, Hofer versus Dostal. I mean, it's pretty clear as day for me, Carm. You got a goalie with a .932 save percentage last couple games versus a goaltender with an .881 save percentage the last few games. I know I'm kind of taking the easy way out with this one here, but I'm going to give you the under. I think this is a game where Anaheim's going to realize we have to play defensive hockey tonight. In St. Louis, they've been playing some fantastic defensive hockey. So, Colin, you've been doing better on the sides. You're in the live chat right now. I'll tell you what, I'm sticking to mostly totals tonight. I think this game goes under. I think Anaheim, their key for themselves is going to be defense tonight, Carm.
Yeah, I think one of the things that hurts them as well too is, the Blues do play, like, I don't want to call it like a physical game, but it seems like that. Bigger guys, the Thomas line is what is carrying the St. Louis Blues right now, and it's been phenomenal. But when you take one person out of a lineup, and for the Ducks right now, it's Cutter Gauthier. He's out right now, and he's listed as being out for tonight. So I don't see any changes in that. It hurts the offense as well too, and he's only missed one game, but that was a loss. It's been 3 in a row for them, and you just wonder. This is a team that thought they'd make the playoffs, but I think have really overachieved to get to the point where they are right now. So I think it's a tough spot for them, even though they're at home. It's probably a little more vague than you want to lay, because that the team that is coming to play tonight is not a team that, to use the phrase tanking, isn't tanking. They still have dreams of making it into the playoffs, Andrew, which brings us to the point of this. And this is a Ralph Michaels. These two teams played just a little while ago. I think early March. I think it was March 8th, I believe it was. And St. Louis got the 4-0 victory. So Ralph's fade or follow stats. Home favorites of -25 plus, playing with revenge off a shutout loss as a favorite, are 56-15, 79%, plus 22% ROI, with an average line of -184. On the puck line, they are 40-31, 56.3%, 36% ROI, with the average puck line being obviously -1.5 plus 146. So it's up to you guys to decide if you want to fade or follow. Ralph Michaels, the pen, with some information on this game, which, Andrew, we're not done with this game. Let's turn it into a pod play for me. So, no disrespect to Ralph Michaels on the fade or follow stat, but I am going to fade it, Andrew. Let's get the pod play up there. There it is. I'm sinking, but I recovered yesterday with the Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation. I am taking the St. Louis Blues right now, plus 117 to win tonight. And it's for the same reason. Injury. Gudas is also likely out for the Anaheim Ducks, which hurts them from a physical point of view on defense as well too. This is a make or miss kind of game for the St. Louis Blues. I don't think it's a must win, but it's a game in which I think they have circled that, hey, we need the 2 points. We need to get this win. 3 losses in a row for Anaheim. Maybe Andrew, maybe they're just thinking right now, come on, let's get to the finish line here. Let's get into the playoffs and see what we can do. I think the pressure is getting to them. I'm going to take the plus money here. Give me plus 117 on the St. Louis Blues, and let's make it 2 in a row with the pod.
That was a nice segue. It's like, hey, great information, Ralph, but I'm going the other way.
God bless Ralph Michaels for dropping that in there. But yeah, I do look like the dude from the Addams Family in that picture. Where is it? Was it Uncle? Where is it? Uncle Fester? Or was it or whatever? It just, yeah. And I got the 2 hands beside me from the Addams Family, one on each side. That's pretty good.
Well, Carm, we're keeping on the exact same topic here, brother, because I've got 2 picks for that exact same game. And look, this week we hit a plus 145, a plus 140. I think actually we hit a plus 400. So I'm going to keep it very peaceful, very civil, very, very hopefully smooth and easy winner. A plus 136. Nothing in life is ever easy. Dylan Holloway, 3+ shots on goal. Robert Thomas, 1 point. Carm said it best. That Robert Thomas line has been incredible. There's a reason why they didn't trade him at the deadline, because he's worth a lot to this team. Robert Thomas to get a point, and Dylan Holloway, 3+ shots on goal. He has a great matchup against the Anaheim Ducks, and I think Robert Thomas matches up well Ducks too. So it's Friday. We don't want to get greedy here today, Carm. We're giving out a plus 136 for today's same game parlay. Blues and Ducks, and it kind of coincides with your POD, because I'm backing 2 players on the STL St. Louis Blues. Let's cash this ticket, guys. Plus 136. Let me know in the comments, fade or follow or fade. Carmine's POD and my 2 prop bets here for today. Let's get the job done.
Get it done. I like it, Andrew. They don't have to be monster odds. Plus money is plus money, and when you cash it, it's good. By the way, the Nashville LA Kings game went to overtime yesterday. I think I did say take the draw on that one.
Yep.
I tried to convince you to take it. Take the draw. So I did have the Detroit at plus money. I did have the draw in that game. So I was pretty happy when I saw it was tied going to OT, because it's just teams sharing points, and it keeps those playoff races alive in the those wild card races. A season like no other. I should have a stat or a thing there. Uncle Fester says it's a season like no other. But if you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of? So speaking of which, before I get to the 6 and 60, I'm going to be recording a video. It will not be on the WagerTalk channel, but as living in Canada, as an Italian, I feel insulted that a guy that I've met a few times that worked at Sportsnet with my friends, who worked at the Fan 590, worked at a lot of places. He's Portuguese. You don't blame all Portuguese because there's one bad apple but this guy went after the Italians, making fun of them for missing the World Cup. And I am going to record a video, post it on TikTok with some images, and I am going to rip this guy to shreds. So he's going to be stuffing his face with those Portuguese custard desserts and that barbecue chicken when I'm done with him. But with that said, Andrew, let me catch my breath. 6 and 60, what do you say?
You screwed yourself for the cardio there. Here, you got to get locked.
That's it. Hell has no fear like a man scorned. I will do it. And the opinions that I have are my own. Here is your 6 and 60. Detroit and New York. We're taking Detroit on the money line. The Rangers just got their fresh delivery of Titleist golf balls. They are ready for the offseason. Tampa Bay and Boston. Tampa, I think, are the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. I'm taking them to win at home and continue that to drive for the number 1 spot. The LA Kings and Toronto. It's elimination day for the Leafs on Saturday. Goodbye in LA, La La Land. Vancouver and Utah. Taking Utah here. They are playing extremely well. Going into Vancouver, who are returning off a road trip, and the worst team in the league. Give me the Mammoth in this one. Vegas and Edmonton. Tortorella is going to experience his first loss as coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. Give me Edmonton, money line. And finally, Washington and Buffalo. Sabres turn around, going to Washington and get the victory and keep pace with the Tampa Bay Lightning. That is your 6 and 60.
Love those picks, Carm. Looking ahead to Saturday's NHL slate. I'll have a video up as well. And I can't say which ones, but there's some of those that I agree with as well. People will have to tune into my show to figure it out. But great stuff here. Great show. Again, guys, anybody interested in any deals, this is the best deal. If you want to jump in on board, look, we still have that PuckTime special, Carm. I always forget about that. If anybody wants the PuckTime BOGO special, you get everything that Carmine has, everything that I have, all of our picks over the next 3 days. I believe that's what it is, right, Carm? 3 days of all of our plays. But, of course, rest of the regular season for free if you buy the Stanley Cup playoff package, $199. I will probably just have free plays for today, some content up at on X and on WagerTalk. But we're looking for number 12 tomorrow. And hopefully next time I talk to you guys, we have won 12 or even 13 straight in the NHL. Run a fantastic run. Let's try and keep it going. Carm, for the record, with just 2 people, we did a whole show with 3 or 4 segments, couple things in between, and it's at the 30-minute mark. I think that's pretty good for the show. I'll send it back over to you to close things out, but looking forward to a great, great day here, Carm.
Yep. Perfectly done. These guys have plenty of time to grab a bite to eat and then settle down for Andy Lang and Dan Alexander at the top of the hour with Wager Talk today. 2 plays up for me in the NHL tonight. Let's kick off what is going to be a big weekend. I'm going to have a big card on Saturday as well, too, and a ton of soccer games for me. Really like the card this weekend in the return after the international break, including some MLS games as well, too. So pick up that BOGO or the 3-day all access, whatever you guys want. Head over to WagerTalk, wt.buzz/CB, and let's have a winning weekend together. For myself, Andrew McInnis, and our guests this week, Brian Leonard and Don Julio Buster. This has been Puck Time, guys. Have a great and safe weekend.